What's a poppin'? Fish keepers, shrimp keepers, 10-gallon fish tank fanatics, welcome back to 10-gallon fish tank headquarters. And today I had a special request from one of you, so shout out to Josie. She's bought fish from here quite a few different times and she's having to move, and she was curious, how do I move with fish tanks? I want to make sure all the fish I bought from you, all the tanks I have, I successfully move these fish and shrimp to the new house. So she has to move from one house to another one, not too far away. It's not a super long distance, but she has to move and she's very stressed about it. So I'm making this video for her and everybody else out there who might have to move with fish tanks. It can be a little bit stressful, but trust me, it's not that bad. It's not that hard. I've done it before myself. So when I first got into the hobby, I was out in California. I was in Santa Clarita. If anybody is from Santa Clarita area, comment down below. Shout out to you guys. So I was in Santa Clarita, California, and I had a 10-gallon tank and I had a bunch of fish in it. It was not very smart, but I had a rainbow shark, which you should not have in a 10-gallon tank. And I had some mollies in there. This first tank I got, I didn't know what I was doing. And semester ended and I needed to take my fish home. And the fish survived the whole trip from California all the way back to my house, and they thrived all summer long as well. So let's get into the 5 steps of how to successfully transport fish if you're moving from one location to the next and get everything there safely and make sure they're healthy and happy. Let's get into it. The first thing you want to do if you are going to be moving and transporting fish and tanks with you is to come up with a game plan. So game plan number 1, stop feeding your fish. That's right, stop feeding your fish for 24 to 48 hours prior to moving. Why do we do that? Well, it's already going to be stressful enough on your fish when you are moving. So you want to stop feeding them so that they aren't going to create increased nitrates from pooping in the water when you transport them. That's right. Stupid, but that's the case. So when you're getting ready to move these fish can be okay. They can survive without food for up to 7 days, typically, not a problem. So stop feeding your fish about 48 hours prior to your move, allowing them to excrete everything out. That way, when you go to transport them, they don't have anything in their system, and that's going to reduce the bioload, the nitrates, and the ammonia possibility when you're moving your fish. So step number 1, go ahead and stop feeding your fish 48 hours before you transport them. The other thing we want to think about is how far of a trip is this going to be? So is it going to be a day? Is it going to be multiple days traveling across country? Is it just a couple hours? You're moving inside the same town, just to a new location. That's going to kind of determine what route I would personally go. If it's just going to be a couple hours, first option is a fish bag. So just any sort of aquarium fish bag. You can order these on Amazon for like $9 for 50 to 100 of them. And the link for that's in the description down below. Otherwise, go to Petco, PetSmart, or your local fish store. Most of the time, if you have a good relationship with them, you walk in, hey, I'm having to move. I don't want my fish to die. Do you guys have any extra fish bags I could have for free? Most of the time, they're going to say, absolutely, here you go. Here's a couple of them, and you're good to go. So if you don't have a ton of fish, and you just have a small amount of fish and shrimp that you need to move, and you're moving local, like in town, you can put them in a bag and transport them that way. So you'd fill the bag up about a third, maybe a third of the way up, maybe halfway, anywhere from a third to half. And then you want to leave a lot of oxygen in there and seal it up, okay? And they can survive in there for a good 8, 12, 24 hours, not a problem. The biggest thing is just making sure they're in a good temperature control. Don't let your fish or shrimp get too hot or too cold while transporting them in these bags, and they should be very successful. Now, if it's going to be a farther trip, it's going to be a day, it's going to be more than a day, the option number 2 is a bucket. If we're going with the bucket route, there's a couple of routes we can go with the bucket route. It's either actually using a bucket like I have here and filling this up, or you could go to like Lowe's and grab yourself one of the black storage bins with a lid on top, which is probably your best option, and fill that up. Get a small little black bin with a yellow top from Lowe's. They're like $10. That way you have something to keep the water from splashing out. You can drill a hole in it, which will then take us to what I'll show you guys in a little bit, because if we're going to transport them in a bin, and it's going to be a bit longer of a trip, you're going to want to provide some aeration for that tub. So you're going to need to drill a hole through the top, or if you're using a bucket, you should have some sort of top on here so it doesn't splash out while we're transporting it. And you're going to need to aerate the water to make sure they're safe. the bucket or the tub method's probably the best method, safest method when you're trying to transport these fish. So it's my preferred method, and it's how I always do it. All right, so we've now figured out which route we want to go. Do we want to go the bag route, or do we want to go the tub with the air pump route? Once you determine that and you've let your fish fast for 48 hours, and it's now the day of the move, time we're going to move these tanks, we are going to go ahead and remove the heaters. So if you have a heater in your tank, you're going to unplug that first. Don't pull the heater out of the water while it's turned on. That could cause it to shatter. So you're going to unplug your heater first, pull that out. Once that's pulled out, then you're going to go ahead and take the light off, pull that out. And then once that's good, the next thing you want to do is your filter. So big common mistake I see people do when they move their tanks. They kill off all the beneficial bacteria inside your tank. Please do not do that. What you want to do is, if you have a sponge filter, you're going to get a big Ziploc bag or aquarium bag, and you're going to take some of the water inside the tank, and you're going to dump it in your Ziploc bag. You're going to dump it in a bucket, but it's got to be a separate bucket or bag from that you're keeping your fish in. You don't want your fish in there with the filter if it's a sponge filter. If you're using filter pads or filter media on a hang-on bag, you're going to take the filter pads or filter media inside the hang-on bag, and you're going to put that inside a Ziploc bag or aquarium bag with water from the tank, and you're going to seal it up nice and tight. What that's going to do, it's going to keep that beneficial bacteria inside the water and keep it alive. That way, when we set the tank back up, that beneficial bacteria won't have died off, because if you pull the filter out, the sponge filter, you pull the filter pads or the filter media inside your hang-on bag or your canister filter or whatever filter type you're using, and you just let it sit out and dry out, all the beneficial bacteria will be gone. Now when you set your tank back up, there's a good chance you're going to kill some fish and kill off the ecosystem you've developed and built over the last 3 months, 6 months, year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. You don't want to do that. So make sure when you're, whatever filter media you're using, same thing with your decorations inside your tanks, everything inside your tank that is going to have beneficial bacteria. So if you have rock, wood, plants, all those things, you're going to put them in bags with aquarium water, seal them up, and they're going to stay in that until you're ready to reset your tank back up. All right, so we now have the heater, the filter, the lights, the aquarium decoration, the plants, whatever you have in your tank, it's out. All we have left is substrate and fish. This is where we go ahead and drain the water out of the tank. I like to drain about anywhere from 90 to 80% of the water out. So that leaves 10 to 20% water inside your tank. Now, when we're draining this water out, we're going to be draining the water into the bucket or the storage bin. If you go to Lowe's, you get the black storage bins with the lids. You're going to drain that water from your tank into the bucket or the storage bin so that the fish are already used to the water that's going to be in the bucket or the storage bin that they're going to be in. And if you're putting them in bags, fish bags, once again, you're going to drain that water into the fish bag. Now, the big thing to remember when we're draining this water, make sure 1 to 2 weeks out, you've done a water change on there so that the water inside your tank is good, clean water with not a lot of nitrates. Test your water before you drain it and make sure you don't have ammonia or nitrates build up inside that water. As long as you've done a water change, your water parameters are in good condition, then you're going to drain it right out into the bags that you're putting your fish in or into the tubs that you're going to put your fish in. And you're going to leave 10% to 20% of the water inside your tank. The reason for that, once again, is it has beneficial bacteria. Your substrate is a huge surface area in your aquarium, growing tons and tons of bacteria that are beneficial for your ecosystem that you built. And if you drain it all the way down and it dries out, you now lose all that bacteria and you got to restart, and it can wreak havoc on restarting that tank. So just leave about 10 to 20% water in there to make sure all that stays good. Did someone say arts and crafts? I think so. It's now arts and crafts time, and we're going to do an actual demonstration on how, if we're using the bucket method, and this same method that I'm going to show you here can be applied to the tub method. If you're using the tub from Lowe's with the top, you're going to do the same thing. The only difference is you're going to drill through the top of the lid so that you can run the airline hosing through it. But I'm going to show you guys how to do this. Like I said, this is the method I use when I traveled from California to Utah, about an 8-hour drive transporting my fish. So you're going to get yourself 2 options. You can either get yourself Aquarium Co-op battery backup air pump, which is what I use all in my fish room all the time anyway, or you could get yourself like a Marina battery air pump. It takes some batteries, and this will help you transport your fish. Either one will work, but you just choose which one you want. I like this one because I use it all the time anyway. And you are going to connect the airline tubing onto one of the nipples on the air pump. And then we're going to connect this to a ZIZ air valve. So it allows us to adjust the pressure and the pressure of air coming out so we can make it more intense or less intense, because we don't want it absolutely blasting the fish while they're sitting in the bucket or the tub. We just want the right amount of airflow. Then on the other side of the valve here, we're going to connect the airline tubing again. So if you guys see, it goes air pump, airline tubing, air valve, so we can adjust the pressure. Now we're connecting it to, I like the ZIZ little air stone. The ZIZ air stone is what I like to use, but you can use any air stone. Just make sure you don't have a really heavy air stone, because if you're transporting fish, you don't want this thing flying around, whipping and killing your fish and hitting them and giving them concussions and knocking them out. And that's what it's going to look like. So once again, air pump, battery backup air pump, airline tubing, ZIZ valve to adjust the air pressure, airline tubing, and then an air stone. Okay. Now, the other thing you're going to definitely want, I don't have any on hand at the moment, this is just an example, is you want like the little suction cup, airline tubing suction cups. So the airline tubing suction cup will snap onto your airline tubing just like that. And then you will stick this suction cup to the side of your tub you're using or the bucket. That's going to help prevent this thing from swinging all around your bucket or tub and hitting your fish. So make sure you have a couple of them, and you'll snugly attach it to the side of your bucket to help keep it from swinging around. But to show you guys, we can turn this thing on. You can see it's on here, and we're going to go ahead and put this down in the bucket. Okay. Let me get you guys up close, and you can kind of see what I have going on here. And here you have it. You can see the Marina air pump or Aquarium Co-op one. Attach the nipple, airline tubing. Got the adjustable nozzle so we can adjust air pressure. Coming up, airline tubing right into the air stone. Okay. And you want to use the airline tubing suction cups, these things. This is not an actual suction cup for airline tubing, but get these things, and you're going to suction it to the side, attached to the airline tubing, multiple of them, to keep this thing from swinging all around the bucket as you transport it. It should be just hugging nice and secure right on the side. And just to show you guys the tub method, now this is a big tub, about 30 gallons, but get yourself like a little 5-10 gallon tub, and from Lowe's, not super expensive. These are the black tubs I'm talking about, and they come with yellow lids. The yellow lid snaps right on top. Just drill a hole big enough size for these little airline tubing to fit through. Drill the hole, attach the suction cups to the side, and you have a perfect transportation container for your fish, shrimp, whatever you have. And as you can see, the whole purpose of this is to aerate the water so your fish have plenty of oxygen. And once again, you're draining the tank with the water from the tank into your bucket or your tub so that it keeps all the water they're already used to, and will set them up for success. The final step is, now you've arrived at your new house. You just moved successfully from one place to the next. And as you're transporting your tank, make sure you wrap it up, keep it safe, make sure it's not moving around so it doesn't crack or break. But you've successfully moved the tank over there. It still has a little bit of water at the soil. Now all you do is you drain the water from the bucket or the tub that you're using and back into the tank. Top it back off with some normal tap water. Dechlorinate that water. Add all your decorations and plants back in. Go ahead and add the heater into the water. Put it inside, all the way down in, submerged if you're using a heater. Once it's fully submerged in the water, you can plug it back in. Then you can put your light or your lid back on. And now you are ready to go ahead and reacclimate your fish. If they're in the bags, let them sit and float on top of the bags, as long as you're not using breather bags, regular poly bags. Let them sit and float, adjust the water temperature. Then you can open them up, pour them into a catch cup is what I like to use right here. Or if you don't have a catch cup, pour them into a bowl. And then you're going to take some of the water from the aquarium you just set back up, pour it in there, wait 15 minutes, pour it in there, wait 15 minutes, pour it in there, wait 15 minutes. Now you can scoop them out and put them into the tank. That is how you successfully transport fish. If you're moving, don't stress. It's not that hard. Follow these steps, and you'll be set up for success to safely and easily move your fish from one place to the next. I've done it multiple times successfully myself. I know you can too. It can be a little intimidating, but don't fret. You got this. And if anything, don't forget to check out the description down below. I have everything linked down below that you might need to be able to make this move happen. On top of that, I have a checklist, a moving checklist. So print out the checklist and go through one by one and knock off step by step that you've completed all the steps. And if you do so, it will help you remember to complete all these steps in a row as you go through this moving process. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, share, and comment, as that helps me out, helps the algorithm. On top of that, comment down below. Where did you move from? How did it go? Did the methods help you and work for you? Did you find any other techniques or tips or tricks that could help others? Share them down below to help each other out. As always, if you like this content, I appreciate it. Subscribe, keep watching, keep engaging. And if you want to engage with me a little bit more, there's a couple ways you can do so. First off, go check out Nashville Fish Keepers. It's a Facebook group that's a positive, uplifting atmosphere where we come together as a community, share our tanks, ask questions, share advice, and have a lot of fun. We run little challenges on there, and it's a good time. On top of that, I have 10gallonfishtanks.com. I have fish, shrimp, plants, and shirts, hats, all sorts of things like that there. Even consultations. If you want a one-on-one meeting with me, we can meet for 30 minutes to an hour and talk about your tank needs and questions that you might have. All that's on there to help support you guys. If you want to support the channel, all the money I make from 10gallonfishtank.com continues into building and expanding my fish room and continuing to get more content, more things available so I can continue to expand. On top of that, we are now blessed to be YouTube monetized, which is kind of cool. So we now have a membership group, which is really awesome. We have 3 members now, which is super, super awesome. So shout out to our member wall, which I have one more person to put up, and I need to get the stuff to do so. So you'll see yourself on the channel here soon. But shout out to Daniel Highland, also James Holbrook, who are our first 2 members, part of the Midwater Squad. So Midwater Squads are $5 a month membership where you get early access to all videos so you can see them in real time. You get 10% discount on my website. You get members only live streams, special emojis you can use, and a special Facebook group where you get to hang out and talk to me just privately for the members only group. We do also have the Nano Bubbler group. That's $1 a month, and you get the member only Facebook group, all the little Facebook lives that I do as well, like the members only live streams, and then also the emojis. So thank you guys for watching. As always, I hope you have an amazing week, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.
What's up, yo? Buddy. Need some fish, bro. Then you gotta go to the 10-gallon fish pro. 10-gallon, yeah. Fish tanks, yeah. 10-gallon, yeah. Fish tanks. All day, all day, all day long. Shrimp, blue shrimp, yellow shrimp too. Green shrimp, orange shrimp, and a snowball zoo. We got fish, y'all. We got fish, dog. We got it all. Tuxedo koi, guppy, white cloud, minnow, long fin, white cloud, pygmy corridora, panda cory, stir by cory, albino cory, coolie loach, green cuba, tyrus boris, celestial pearl, danio, and emerald dwarfers bora, pea puffer, clown, killie, sparkling goat or me.